Alright everybody, back with a new and improved Flail Greataxe build. It's pretty fun to play. Something unique you don't really see every day. Here we're starting off on some CTF in the back line, doing what I do best. You see I just finished that guy off with a nice meaty execute. Doing a little charge spin around maneuver on this guy. Throwing out a smite. Got these two caught up in the smite AoE, which is pretty good, so now I have some life stealing and they're getting a stacking and weaken effect when they attack me. Got the Greataxe throwing out some light attacks. Those two guys with near the flag are somewhat tanky, and I'm getting hit by some waves. Love to see it. But this guy makes the mistake of jumping down with me. It's a bad mistake, buddy, and he's just heavy attacking. You know, I understand that the great sword is good with the heavy attacks, but if you're throwing out heavy attacks like this, you're going to have a bad time just like that. Hopping back up here into the action, catching this healer, jumping on him real quick, but he does get away. Throwing a meaty smite on these two. Chasing the healer again, hit him with a trip into the eruption combo. He tries to repulse me, but I seen that coming a mile away, buddy. Still on his tail. Let me finish him off right there. Now, I will say this build kind of struggles a little bit with killing tanks, just because we don't have a whole lot of rend in this setup. But I will go over how you can somewhat alleviate that in the build breakdown at the end of the video. So here we're jumping on this archer. Tries to run away, but we hit him with the smite. GG's, buddy. See this healer in the back trying to hide, but then I got the greatsword guy on my tail. Pop the stone for him to escape from there. Maneuvering around a little bit, checking out the other side of the fight. Throwing out some Greataxe light attacks. You know, just playing the field a little bit. One guy gets a little low, but I don't want to jump all the way in there. We are in light, so we can't get messed up if we don't play properly. And now we're back onto this greatsword guy. Tries to escape, hit him with the trip into the eruption. Big damage on him. That trip combo will destroy anybody in light. Light players usually cannot handle that very well. Now we're onto this tank. He's got his tower shield holding block. Love to see it. And then we get stunned. So we can't really finish the kill on him. And then we get ganged up on. GG's, buddy. On to the next. This is later on in the same CTF. Back in the back line being a menace to these guys. And it ends up going into overtime because none of us captured the flag yet. Love to see it. Hopping onto this bow rapier guy. Pull him back with a nice reap. He's slowed down. He's trying to escape. Trying his best to escape, but we hit him with the trip into the eruption. Then finish him off with a light attack. GG's, buddy. Going to fast forward a little bit here. Onto this Greataxe guy who's spinning to win. But his Greataxe ain't bigger than mine, buddy. Throws out a grab roll there, but it doesn't really do much to him. And we finish him off with execute. Roll with the scream there. Nice roll by me. Hitting this Void Blader. This build can take on Void Blades because we do have the CC, but it can be a bit of trouble. You do have to play around with them a little bit. Trip him up there into the eruption. Finish him off with some light attacks. Going back into the back line here. Back to our favorite Greataxe guy, spinning to win. Love to see it. Hit him with a smite. We trip him, but he does grit through the trip. But his grit doesn't matter. Hit him with a heavy attack, roll into execute, finish him off. And now we got the greatsword guy on me, throwing out some waves. We turn around on him, bait him around the corner, hit him with a reap, into a light attack charge combo, finish him off with some light attacks. GG's, buddy. Now we're off into the free-for-all zone where this guy just had to disturb me while I'm trying to get my chest. So you know what we gotta do. Gotta give him the works. He's got the greatsword out. I love to see it. But I believe he's in medium. That's not the way to do it, buddy. Hey man, if you ain't in light, then you ain't doing it right. We hit him with a trip into an eruption, but the second hit of the eruption misses for some reason. I'm not sure what happened there. And then we have another greatsword guy that joins the fight. He's got a sword and shield as well. Swapping back target onto the lower health guy. And we have an NPC as well that joins the fight. Love to see it. Chasing the first guy down, finish him off. GG's, buddy. Give me your materials. On to the next. Take out this NPC here because I do not want to get stun locked by the NPC. He's using counter, we roll away so we don't get hit by the counter. Throwing out some heavies. He charges right into the heavy. Bad mistake on him. Hits me with a shield rush into an upheaval, but it doesn't do much damage. We trip him into an eruption. He's half health now. It's not looking good for him. Not looking good. Good counter on him right there to block the execute. That probably would have killed him. But in the end, it doesn't matter. Finished him off with a Reaper to a light attack. GG's, buddy. Back on to the capture the flag. Being a menace in the back line, doing what I do best. Chasing this bow guy around. Finish him off with a smite. Hopping back to catch some respawns. Trip this bow guy into an eruption. Sticking onto him. He does sweep me, but teammate finishes him off. We roll with the shockwave there. Throw out a nice reap. Smite on both of these guys, nice and meaty. Chasing down the greatsword guy. Hit him with a light attack into a charge combo and finish him off with some light attacks. Now back to being a menace to these respawns. This fire staff guy just gets absolutely destroyed by the trip into the eruption combo. He must be running super low con or something. Now we got this bow rapier. He's doing some maneuvers, but in the end his maneuvers ain't enough. Hit him with a smite, teammate finishes him off. Trip this greatsword guy into an eruption. He's half health now. He's in trouble, and because he's half health, he's not sending out any crescent waves, so he doesn't do damage. We can sit there and trade with him, maybe finish him off. Got this healer in the mix, finish him off. Doing some chaos, but we get caught by 2 shockwaves. Luckily I get hit out of the stun there, so I don't take big damage. We try to do a trip into an eruption, but we get staggered out of there. Unfortunate. Don't want to chase that guy off, and this guy also drops down, but I want to stay here in the respawns, causing havoc. Land a big execute on that guy, and the teammate finishes him off. Now onto this staff guy with the void blade. Trip him into the eruption. GG's, buddy. Quit glue eating. Running off to the side. Got another void blader. Love to see it. Hit him with a Reaper to a light attack. He does back away from that execute. Good dodge on him. The execute would have killed him. But he makes the mistake of jumping back. We pop a stone for him so he don't get staggered. But we have to swap targets because this greatsword guy is on my ass. We're getting back onto this healer here. He does block the execute. That's a really good block on his part. He would have been a goner there, buddy. Moving on to the side here and land a meaty trip on these two into an eruption. They both die. Love to see it. Land a heavy attack to get through that clear out. Still chasing him, reap him back here. Get back here, buddy. But he gets saved by the bell. Saved by the bell. Alright. This last clip is just going to be me being a menace in the respawn with some teammates. I'll let this last clip play out and I will rejoin you guys for the build breakdown at the end of the video. Alright everybody, let's get right into the build here. So gear, for the mask we're using the hoplite mask. Put shirking on everything. We got featherweight. We got crafted gorgonite gauntlets with mortal lifesteal, hoplite pants, and frigid dawn boots. Nothing really special for the armor besides crafted gloves with mortal lifesteal. Just make sure you have shirking on everything. We do have enchanted ward on every piece besides featherweight. So defensively we aren't looking too bad. We're running no shield with this build to get the extra bonus for base damage on flail. For our flail we are running the Odo artifact, upgraded with alternating enchantment. This great axe right here, I rolled at the well at Cutlass Keys. It's a pretty good great axe roll. Highly recommend trying to roll some great axes in there if you don't have a good one. These are pretty good. For the heart rune we are using stone form. Although you can swap this out for spit for a disease to help with counter any healing, but I prefer to use stone form with this setup. Got the Ankh, of course, with shirking and power. Arcane healing breeze, hardy ring, and healthy toast healing heart, regenerating Gorga's earring for the everything that gives us some health back. This build has a lot of built-in self-sustain with both the great axe and the flail, as well as the shirking heals and the regenerating, healthy toast, all that good stuff. Pots, you got the health pot, regen serum, mana pot for the healing toast, healthy toast, and we use roasted rabbit food. Getting into the stat spread, we're running 430 strength, 51 focus, 169 con. Feel free to switch these up if you want to, depending on how you want to do things. This is just what I use. Weapon mastery for the great axe. Got the execute. We're using the reap. Now with the reap, I do not like getting this passive. This passive leaves you stuck in the animation if you miss reap. I don't like that part. You oftentimes, if somebody dodges the initial reap and you're stuck in this animation, they can punish you pretty easily. And if you do end up pulling with the reap, you can always do a light attack afterwards, and you can even do a light attack into a charge combo as well, and that'll be more damage than this follow-up. And of course we're using charge. For the flail we got smite. Now you don't get the bonus passive for the shield type because we aren't using a shield, but it's okay. We still want the deflecting frailty for the lifesteal and the weakening effect that it provides. We have the eruption, of course. This is the big damage, and of course the trip. We don't get the heavy attack passive. You don't want to be stuck in that animation because you do want to combo with the eruption. But yeah, that's the build. Now I will say you do kind of have some trouble fighting it against a tankier target. One way you can combat this is to use spit, or if you roll with a great axe or craft one, you could put vicious, crippling reap, and sundering stacks, or put crippling reap onto an armor piece and have vicious, sundering stacks, and attunement. That would be pretty good as well, but for now I'm using this. But yeah, that's the build. Thanks for watching.